everybody, welcome to The Colors of Beauty by Elle. I'm Isabel. Welcome back, and welcome all my new subscribers. Welcome to another car vlog, you guys. So I am on my way to my mom's house. I am gonna have to take her to run some errands, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take them. I'll probably go stop by and get my mom a new purse, because her purse is really not the best. So I gotta get her a new purse. You know, she's like, this one's fine, but it's like, oh, falling apart at the seams. You know, and they live like, you know, they're both retired. My parents are both, my mom's in her 80s and my dad's in his 90s. So they both have cataracts, and my dad can't drive anymore. And my mom never driven. But, so, you know, they rely on either myself or one of my brothers. So I don't mind, you know, I don't mind at all. But anyways, today is supposed to hit 100 degrees for the first 100 triple digits of the summer in Arizona. And it's all right. Doesn't seem any different to me. Not until it gets to about 100 and probably in the 110s, 112s, and it starts to get pretty warm. So then you want to, you know, get some sunscreen. Well, you wear sunscreen all the time, but you want to make sure that you drink a lot of water. You know, I was thinking, there are so many stray dogs lately that are running around, and it's like, come on, you guys. You know, I mean, I understand that dogs get out of the yard, you know, and such, but you would think that it wouldn't be such a bad epidemic. I don't know, epidemic, is that the right word? But there's a lot of stray animals out, and in my neighborhood, I mean, there was like there was a German Shepherd and another brown dog running around, and we were trying to catch it, and you know, the neighbors and everything, and they had collars, but they were scared, so they ran away in the desert. It's like, oh, really, people? Come on. You know, let's get it together and get your animals. Make sure that when you leave, I know, you know, things happen. I know, I get it. I have dogs. But when you're like, you have to make sure that before you leave, that your dogs are in the house or outside, you know, with water, and make sure that the gate is completely locked. You know, because they're like children, you know, they're like toddlers, they just leave. You know? Oh, talking about yesterday I went to the animal hospital to take Iris to get her shots, because she's 1 year old now. So I had to get her boosters and her rabies shot. And so we were there, and I was sitting there, and then somebody came out of one of the rooms, and it was a lady, you know, a young woman with her little girl, you know, about 1. And she was just, the mom, she was just crying, and I was like, oh my gosh. And she kind of stood by me, and, you know, standing there, and I go, are you all right? And she's like, I have to put my cat down, you know, that's what they're doing. And I'm like, oh. And so I got up and I hugged her, and then she just started crying and crying. So I was just hugging her, trying to comfort her, and I don't even know who she is, but that doesn't matter. You know, I just felt so bad for her. And I told her, I said, I know how you feel. You know, all these feelings come back because I was feeling when I had to put down my Gabby Ann, and that was so bad. I mean, I think about that dog every single day. She was so special to me. You know, I mean, the sting of it is just a tiny bit there, but I mean, I can remember without crying now, you know. But I was crying with the lady, the young woman, and I just felt so bad. And I told her, I said, you know, you'll see her again. You'll see her again. You see your kitty again. You know, when it's time for us to go, that they'll be probably the first ones there to meet us. So, you know, take comfort in that, and just hold on to her memory and her, you know, like if you have like something that she used to play with or whatever. Gabby had this toy that is like a possum, and it had a bunch of little squeakies in it. Oh my gosh, she loved that thing, and she never ripped it, but she's had it since she was a tiny baby, since I got her from my son, and I still have it. I keep it on my dresser because it just reminds me of her, and it makes me happy. And when I miss her so much, I hug it, and then it still smells like her. So, you know, it's the little things that kind of make you feel a little bit more comforted. But I felt so bad for her, poor baby, you know. And Iris was so taken with her little girl. She was just licking her and licking her and licking her, and it's like so funny. She was excited to see a little one in there. I think it reminded her of my grandbabies, because, you know, they just love kids. My two German Shepherds love children. So, you know how one thing leads to another and another. Okay, so this happened. It's story time, okay? So when I was a little girl, we lived, you know, those of you who have been following me or whatever, no, but I'm gonna say it again for those who are new to my channel. I grew up in a very, very, very poor area, and it was just, you know, really, like, there was a lot of dogs, you know, running around, and it was just really a small little place, okay, kind of like a little tiny Mexico kind of thing, but it wasn't in Mexico, it was in Arizona. South Phoenix, actually. So it was around Easter, I think it was Easter time, and I was really, I on the way home from school, Chinito stores. I don't mean to be disrespectful to my Asian friends, but you know, that I don't, so please don't take offense at it. But as a little girl, we would call it the Chinito store, you know, because they owned it. They were the only Asian people in our neighborhood, and it was like a little house, and they sold candy and everything like that. So one day I went in there after school, and Ken, he knew me, his name was Ken, he's like, oh, he says, how are you? I go, I'm fine. I go, okay. And then I saw these little cute little baskets, you know, and I was like, oh my God, those are so cute. They were just so miniature, like handmade little tiny baskets, like about this big. And they were made of pipe cleaners. So cute. And it had a little chick in there. So I was like, oh my gosh, how much are those? You know, I say my little squeaky, you know, 8-year-old voice, and he says, oh, those are $1. I'm like, oh. So $1 back then was a lot of money. It really was. It still is, you know, I mean, $1's $1, right? But I was like, oh. So I thought, okay, I'm going to save my money so I can buy my mommy a present for Easter. So I saved my milk money, actually. I saved my milk money. Milk money back then was like 5 cents. So I would save my milk money, and then finally I had enough to buy this little thing from the store. So one day I was like, Mom, I'm gonna go to the store. Is that okay if I go to the corner, to the Chinito store? She says, yeah, go ahead, be careful, you know. And I was like, all right. So I go to the Chinito store, and I was like so happy going in there, you know. And I go there and I pay my $1 for my little thing, and then Ken gave me a little candy, just, you know, and he was very nice. And so I come out of there, and then I had to turn the corner, you know, because I lived about 2 blocks away from the store. So then I turned the corner to go into my block, and then there was this dog. Here's the part where I remember there was this dog that was there in the middle of the street. I don't know whose dog it was. I don't care. But it was a big dog for a little 8-year-old girl. I was a tiny slip of a kid when I was a little girl. It was so small. And so I looked at it, and I was like, I stopped in my tracks, just stopped. And then he looked up. I don't know if it was a boy or girl. He looked up at me. I'll just say he. He looked up at me, and I think he thought that maybe I was wanting his food or something. So then he started to growl at me, and I started backing up. And then he kind of like, you know, stood up straight because he was hunched over. You know, I was going, whoa, there was a cop there. I hope he didn't catch me speeding. Yikes. Anyways, so where was I? So I'm looking at the dog, and then I get so freaking scared. So I start running for my life. And this dog, you know, I was 8, okay, and I had short little legs and bony legs with bony everything. So here you have this little girl running around in circles, and this dog is trying to, like, you know, get me and bite me, and I'm running and I'm screaming, and I drop my thing on the ground, and I'm screaming and I'm crying, and I'm like, go away, go away. So the dog nips at my shorts, and I was like, oh my gosh. So then I hear this whistle, like, you know, somebody calling the dog, like, you know, come here, whatever. And so the dog goes, and I'm looking everywhere. I don't even know where I put or where I threw my little thing that I wanted to give to my mom. I was like so devastated. And then after, like, you know, having to save for it forever seemed like to me. And so I finally found it. It was like, I don't know, on the side of the road, on the dirt. So I finally found it, and I picked it up, and I guess I don't know, I think that I stepped on it or something, or because it was squished. So I was like so sad. So I go home, and I tried to fix it real quick, you know, try to fix it, dry my tears, try to fix it so my mom wouldn't know that I was, you know, scared or whatever. And then I give it to her, and bless her heart, you know, only a mom, right? Only a mother can do this. She's like, oh my gosh. But she was telling me in Spanish, you know. She goes, mija, oh, qué bonito. You know, she's like, oh, I love it. You know, thank you. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much. And she goes, I love it. And I said, well, it's kind of dirty. She goes, I don't think it's dirty. She says, I think it's perfect. So she was, so I was like, really? You think it's, you know? And she goes, yes, I think it's perfect. So she got it, and she put it up, you know, I don't know where she put it. She put it somewhere in the house. I don't remember. So everybody could see it. You know, we didn't have a big house. We had a 2-room house. And so that's my story of my little adventure of dog. Oh, so that being said, I think I will let you guys go after my story time. Another episode of Izzy's World. So I hope you guys have a beautiful, colorful day. Don't forget to please like, and please comment, and share. And I do have, follow me on all my diddles. You know, I do have Instagram, snail mail. I do have a Snapchat, and so you guys can all follow me on that stuff. So have a beautiful, colorful day. I hope you guys take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Subscribe.